Hey guys, so really long time no see, and I'm really sorry about that. I feel kind of terrible actually because this is a community that I really love and I absolutely love being a part of. And yeah, I don't know, it just became this thing and I could never find time in my life to make an update, which I guess is what I'm kind of doing here now today. As you can see, I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm going to put some on. This is going to be no way, shape or form. I was laughing at myself setting this up because this is in no way, shape or form some kind of tutorial, but I'm getting ready for work. I have like an hour, so I thought, don't really have time to beat my face, get ready, and also talk to you, so I'll just do it all at once. Let me try and just fix this blinding light, and I'll be right back. I'm not really sure how to deal with the lighting, because like some lighting is obviously good, but it's blinding me. So first things first, hi. I miss you guys. Thanks for anyone who's tuning in. And thank you to everyone, absolutely everyone who sent me messages, because you're all so sweet and I miss you all so terribly. I have been kind of watching some people's videos, but to be honest with you, as much as I haven't been posting, I haven't really been keeping up with you all, which is really upsetting because, as I said before, I mean, I love this community and I love you guys, and, you know, having even online friends who understand me and who understand like what I'm going through and the whole weight loss surgery thing is important. And, you know, I don't really have that in my everyday life. I mean, I've got my mum, and she obviously understands. And actually, since we last spoke, a good friend of mine has also had weight loss surgery. She had a sleeve and she knows about my videos, but she's never been linked to my channel. So if you're watching, hi, how dare you? But yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing. And it's a thing that I want to be part of and haven't been being a part of. So I think it's been like easily 2.5 months since I've made an update, I think. I'll be 6 months on the 21st of this month, post-op. So yeah, it's been, I'm about 5.5 months post-op now. So it's been a while. Just to update everyone, I have lost some significant amount of weight. I've lost 41 kilos, and for anyone who doesn't speak in kilos, that's 90 pounds. I still have some way to go. I want to lose maybe another 34 kilos, 35 kilos. So I'm nowhere near finished, obviously. But 6 months post-op, 41 kilos down. I think that's like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's about 55% of the way through, you know, my goal. Definitely over halfway. So that was really exciting for me. That was a bit of a milestone, was getting halfway. And I don't know if anyone remembers, but before I had like a little mini goal, which was the weight that I started at last time I lost a significant amount of weight. And I reached that while I was still making videos before. And I've since reached my next mini goal. Yeah, so now my next mini goal, I think is like 19 kilos away. So that's going to take some time. And that's just an arbitrary number that I set because I wanted another mini goal. There was nothing really else, you know, there. So sorry if this is really distracting. It's a little bit distracting actually trying to talk and do this. I'm trying to look at you and also at the mirror that's next to me. So my life, let me update you on my life. That's my weight loss, which is all good and well, and it is going fine, although at the moment I'm on a bit of a stall. I mean, it's okay. It's just that this last week I only lost 200 grams, but it is the week before my period, and I'm learning about my body that it's not the week of my period that I need to be worried about as far as stalls go. It's actually the week before. And that's something that, yeah, I just have to get used to, I guess, and accept and just wait out. because a lot of me, there is a big part of me that feels like it's just going to stop anytime now. And yeah, I'm a little bit, that's probably the thing I'm most afraid of, I guess, is that it will just end soon. And, you know, that this is as far as I'll get. And while this is great, and, you know, everybody notices my weight loss and everybody comments and everybody's so happy and proud of me, but it's not enough. And I'm still, you know, obese class 2, and, you know, I don't want to stay here. So, and I don't plan on staying here, but there's just a fear that, you know, the easy weight loss that I've had is over. But anyway, it's just a stall, and I know that that's normal, and I just have to talk myself through it, I guess, because, you know, the natural reaction is to be panicked about it. So anyway, my life. I was updating you, wasn't I? I'm in a new house. I don't know if you can tell. This is very much not the setting I used to film in. And it's not my car. It's not my old dingy apartment or my car. So hopefully the lighting's okay, because I put the blind down because the sun was coming in. But you're in my second bedroom, or my office. There's no bed in here, obviously. There's just my desk. This is where I put my makeup on, and before it was where I was studying. So segue into studying. I finished studying. It was a very, very traumatic time. Towards the end, this is really the thing. This is why I haven't made updates, is because as my training progressed, it got harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to deal with, and I started to not cope. And that lack of coping just translated into, like, my plate, there was one too many things on my plate, and, you know, my life is quite straightforward and quite simple, right? So I shouldn't really talk like this, but, you know, because I know a lot of people have bigger things to deal with, and they just have to, and they can't just push something off their plate. But, you know, studying for me, and my training, it wasn't so much the studying, it was the circumstances around my work that were hard. And I'm not going to get into that on the internet, obviously. But that was fine. I got through. I passed. I have my job now. I qualified. So yay, applause. But I moved house, and in hindsight, that was probably the dumbest thing I could have done. Oh, wow. It's not a professional production. I see, like, professional YouTube videos, like, from the makeup community, like in my suggested and stuff. And I don't know how they do it, because this is hard. Anyway, so I moved house, and that was probably the worst thing I could have done for myself. Although, you know, now it's done, it's great. And some of the stress that I had living where I was living before is gone, obviously. I love living where I'm living. The suburb is a bit of a shithole, to be honest. I mean, it's okay, it's fine, it's safe, but I was living in an inner suburb, and now I live in very much an outer suburb. But moving house was really stressful. Moving house while I was studying was stressful. Being a weight loss surgery patient, YouTube videos aside, that takes some energy, right? As you would all know. And I think that's one of the harder things. And I'm going to make a video, I guess, about some things I wish I knew. And this is one thing that I wish I knew, is that just the simple fact that I am a weight loss surgery patient, that's a thing. The fact I am a weight loss surgery patient is a thing, and it takes energy. And that's been a bit of a surprise. Yeah, and then there were just a few other little things going on in my life. And I know that the sum of that doesn't sound like all that crazy, but it was. And it's calmed down now, which is why I'm here making this update. So just hang on 1 second. I'm just going to draw on my eyebrows. I have to lean close to the mirror, and I'll come right back, yeah? Okay, so that'll do. I'm back. I actually have no idea what I was saying, which is a bit frustrating, because it was just like a minute. What was I saying? I don't know. If it was important, I guess. Sorry. What else do I have to update you about? My health, I feel like it's pretty good. So my weight loss has been pretty steady. My digestion is fine. I am having a little bit of a problem with food. Like, I often have discomfort when I eat. Most meals, I'd say, I have discomfort. And I find that if I eat the wrong things, like, for example, sorry, I'm stirring a protein shake. So I feel like the frustrating part is I feel like if I eat the wrong thing, I'm fine. The typical slider foods like chips, they go down really easy and they don't hurt. But any real protein source basically hurts. Veggies, I regularly have to throw up or I get the foamies. And yeah, my surgeon's office said that it was just that I was eating too quick, which is, I would say, true. I've been working on eating a lot slower, and I guess that is helping a little bit, but it's hard. But other than that, my digestion's pretty good, and I'm feeling pretty well. I haven't had any experiences with dumping syndrome. I'm very careful. I don't really ever drink sugary drinks or anything like that. Although the thing is, I can eat fried food. I've had on 2 occasions spring rolls, which were like fried, and I was fine. So I'm not having reactions to really oily foods. But as far as like sugar-induced dumping syndrome goes, I haven't had any because I really steer clear of sugary liquids. And I am, I'm not eating perfectly. I think I'm really trying to take a moderate stance on that, rightly or wrongly. And if this is this stall is the end of my weight loss, this will be why. I'm trying to be really honest with myself. When I am eating the wrong thing, I'm making like not perfectly healthy choices, but I'm also not making bad choices all that regularly. Like, I'm still eating small quantities. And yeah, like, I mostly am choosing the right thing, and it's because I want to choose the right thing. So that's the good news, is that, I am eating pretty well. I am looking after myself. The bad news is I have significant hair loss. The hair loss is like particularly hard for me to deal with because I feel like my hair before, and I don't know if you really saw it much in videos, but it was like hip length, and it was wild, and it hadn't been cut in years, so the ends of it were really dead. But that was my thing. That's how I liked it to look. Often, like, my mom, especially both my grandmothers, would always make a comment about, my mum only to a point, but my grandmothers especially, like, oh, when are you going to cut your hair? Oh, it looks unhealthy, And then when I cut it, everybody comments on how much healthier it looks and how much better it looks. And to me, that's actually hard to take. That's been weirdly the hardest part. I cut it off because it got so thin, right? Because my look, my thing, my hair, for me, it was how it was because there was so much of it. It was so thick. I mean, it wasn't crazy thick actually, but because of, I don't know, because it was thick enough. That was my thing. That's how it looked. When it got thin, it didn't feel right, and I started to, I think it amplified the issue. So I cut it off. And now it's like, I don't know, can you see that? It's like boob length. And the hardest part of that was compliments on, oh, it looks so much better now. Wow. Like, oh, that must feel great. Oh, but it looks so much healthier. I don't know if that was actually harder or easier to hear than people. I went into work, and one person in particular was like, oh my God, you've cut all your beautiful hair off. What were you thinking? Your beautiful hair. Like, Hayley, that's you. Your hair is you, And my best friend, he was saying, like, just get a trim. Like, you don't need to cut it. Like, why would you cut it so short? When I was planning on doing it. Afterwards, he was good, because I straight out said to him, I'm like, I need you to be supportive. I don't want to hear it. But I think, understood the way I saw my hair as me, as part of me, and I think I felt like I lost part of my personality when I lost my hair. So it is really thinning out. And I had dinner with my dad. He came down and he was like, oh, wow, look how thin your hair is. And I'm like, this was just before I cut it, actually. I cut it pretty much in response to that comment. Yeah, so that's hard. I am taking all my vitamins. I never get enough protein, and, that could have an impact, although my dietitian said it's a shock response that has already happened. It's not an ongoing lack of protein. It's like an immediate reaction to the general anesthetic and then the poor nutrition at the very beginning stops your body from growing the hair. I don't know if the lack of protein has anything to do with it. On any given day, I get between 40 and 80 grams of protein, and it honestly does vary that much. I'm drinking a protein shake that you saw me shaking up, the protein powder at the bottom here. It's just coffee, protein powder, and protein-enriched soy milk. Soy milk is another thing I was talking to my dietitian about. I was drinking rice milk because I don't like to have too much dairy. I do eat cheese and eat yogurt, but if I drink this much milk, it'll make me queasy. Always has. It's not a weight loss surgery thing. And also I like to minimize the amount of dairy just generally, and that's a way I can do it. I don't really like the taste of milk. So I was drinking rice milk because I had this thing about soy, having hormonal effects on the body and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she basically told me, cut the rice milk, start drinking soy milk for protein. So that's just a thing. Anyway, that's that. I don't really know how much else to say. I'm really hoping that you'll see a bit more of my face, and I'm really, really hoping that I'll see a little bit more of yours, because now I've got more free time. I really do plan on catching up, not even just with the current videos, but I really want to go back and watch some videos and leave some comments on some videos from the last 2.5-3 months, because I miss you all. And so thanks again, I guess, to everyone who left a comment or sent me a message. You can follow me on Instagram. I post there a little bit, but and occasionally on an Instagram story, but I do look at people's Instagrams. So if you follow me, I'll follow you back. Of course, it's just at Hayley's Corner. And yeah, I'm a little bit more, I post a little bit more regularly there. So hopefully this is not the last time you see my face for 3 months, and definitely not the last time I see yours. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry if it was distracting and hard to watch because of the makeup thing. But now I'm going to go to work and be awesome, and you go and you be awesome whether you're going to work or not. And I will talk to you all again really, really soon. Bye.